Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest on the severe thunderstorm risk we could be seeing once again today. We have had 2 days now of consecutive severe thunderstorms, and it's looking likely today will be another day of more big thunderstorms forming. Could be the most severe day. Having a look at the latest model data, we don't have an amber warning issued from the Met Office. We have widespread yellow warnings issued, but convective weather once again have a high risk of severe thunderstorms. The latest model data is showing some insanely high Cape levels, just showing the amount of energy that is available to the storms that do trigger. And once again, unfortunately, it is in these very similar spots to the north of London, into the West Midlands, southwest England, spreading into Wales and northwest England, looking likely to see the biggest thunderstorms through this afternoon and the evening. So we'll cover what's going on the live radar at the moment. We'll have a look at those weather warnings. We'll have a look at convective weather, have a look at what they have to say with their warnings. We'll have a look at some of the top temperatures today, because not only we've got big thunderstorms around, it's still very hot and humid and could be reach 30 plus degrees once again. And then we'll have a look at some of the raw model data, as we've got some very good agreements for some big thunderstorms once again in these western regions, and we'll finish on the ensembles. The only saving grace really is if you are in these regions badly affected by thunderstorms the last few days and you have wanted something a bit warmer and drier. Luckily, as we head into tomorrow, that thunderstorm risk will reduce quite considerably through most of England and Wales, with that energy transferring northwards into Scotland, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, where we could see more scattered thunderstorms as we head into the middle of this working week, with most other areas coming under more higher pressure, temperatures cooling down slightly but still relatively hot. So do remember, if you enjoy the videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Down the live radar, not too much is going on at the moment. Recording this around 11:30, so an hour or two before the convection will start to really take off. But we already have an isolated thunderstorm cell just off the coast of Southend, and again, probably a bit of a French import, but this could be the signs that thunderstorms are ready to take off. And that's what's likely to happen once again. They take off near the London area before transferring northwards and westwards. Exactly what happened yesterday, and we saw that insane line convection develop yesterday. A huge multi-celled system. Didn't expect to be seeing that this week. A lot of the model data a few days ago was indicating scattered thunderstorms, but shows you how things can change very quickly in the moment. We saw that multi-celled system moving northwards and westwards, with many areas in the West Midlands and central southern England seeing a huge storm line, and again saw some insane images of shelf clouds and some big lightning strikes and some severe heavy rain. And also some big hail was seen in places as well. And we saw a huge cloudscape as well. Huge areas of England and Wales were covered by the overshooting top, which produced a huge amount of cloud for the relatively small, in comparison, area of thunderstorms. So very interesting to see that yesterday. We're interested to see what happens today, as the model data is showing something more severe and more widespread. So it'll be very interesting to see in about 12 hours time, around 10-11 p.m. this evening, what has unfolded throughout the day. Further westwards, over the Irish Sea now, we've got some remnants of some thunderstorms. Again, this is the area of rain that we thought could give some heavier rain in the south of Wales and southwest England. Didn't really materialise in the end. It was associated with that original thunderstorm system, and that really took all the energy and it headed further northwards. So we did see some rain here, but not quite the heavy rain that we expected this time yesterday. Again, fortunate for those regions, as there was 30 to 40 millimetres potentially, and then a few showers further northwards. Again, probably remnants of storms formed further southwards. If you do put on the temperatures, as of 11:30, another very hot day. Again, temperatures peaking central and eastern regions once again, where you avoid the thunderstorms. It'll be another very hot day, likely to see 30 plus degrees. Now, if you go over to the weather warnings now and see what they're showing throughout today, we've got the widespread yellow thunderstorm warning issued for Scotland and into Northern Ireland from midday today until 9 p.m. tonight. Again, really issued for scattered thunderstorms. We're not expecting any sort of multi-cell systems here. It's possible, but most likely scattered thunderstorms. And again, it has been extended this morning to include more of western Scotland. Again, although some places will miss them, thunderstorms are likely to develop over parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland from early afternoon. These will be fairly slow moving with the potential for large large rainfall amounts in a short period of time. 20 to 30 millimetres of rain could fall in an hour or less in a few spots, with perhaps 40 to 50 millimetres in successive showers, frequent lightning, and also likely to be a hazard along with hail. These showers are going to be a lot slower moving today, especially the scattered showers further northwards. And there is the risk, with all the Cape around, of seeing some big hail as well. Some more American-type thunderstorms is possible. Traditionally in the UK, we do see very heavy rainfall. We do sometimes see very frequent lightning, but rarely do we see the widespread significant hail. We did see some hail yesterday, but again, very localised. And we could see even more widespread today with all these insane amounts of Cape that we'll see on some of the charts in a minute. WRF has some insane Cape levels, but high impact, low likelihood. And then we've got this thunderstorm warning issued for many parts of England and Wales from midday today until 9 p.m. this evening once again, and the warning area has expanded compared to the initial issue. Again, high impact and rising in the likelihood, so I'm surprised we haven't seen an amber warning issued yet. It's one of those where the models are definitely indicating that amber warning weather could happen, and it's one of those where perhaps 4 p.m, maybe 5 p.m. this afternoon, as the thunderstorms are starting to really take off and develop into a big system, then we'll see the amber warning issued. But in my opinion, that's way too late to get people aware of what could be coming. So again, we could see an amber warning issued this afternoon. I do think it actually very possible, or even likely, we see an amber warning issued eventually. I'm just a bit disappointed it's not been issued in advance. Having a look at this latest model data, if this model data we're seeing at the moment is indicative of an amber warning, then I don't really know what else the models can output for severe thunderstorms to be issued, to have an amber warning issued in advance. But you can see here, thunderstorms and torrential downpours are expected to break out across central England and Wales during Monday, slow moving and intense, leaving some large accumulations within excess of 30 millimetres an hour for some, and 60 to 80 millimetres in a few hours where thunderstorm are lined for a time. Frequent lightning and hail are likely to be additional hazards. So this is not just your standard yellow warning, this is definitely the scope for an intense spell of thunderstorms. I'm just, as I said, extremely surprised we're not seeing amber warning issued here. Even convective weather, which we'll have a look at in a minute, does have another red zone of high chance of severe thunderstorms. If you move to Tuesday, we do have thunderstorm warnings issued here, but as I said, the risk moves much further northwards and westwards. Again, thunderstorms for northern and western Scotland and western Northern Ireland, again from midday tomorrow until 9 p.m. Again, look at the further details. 20 to 30 millimetres in an hour or so, with 40 to 50 millimetres with successive showers. And again, high likelihood, high impact, low end of the likelihood scale. Again, we'll update that nearer the time tomorrow when we've got more data in tomorrow's video, once we got through today's big risks. If you go to convective weather, again, we've got substantial warnings. Pretty much the whole country, bar from the northeast of England and the far southwest of England, is covered by the low convective outlook warning, with many areas followed by the slight, quite a few areas of moderate, so that warning across Scotland, and large yellow warning across England. But where I think we should see an amber warning across England and Wales, we don't have an amber warning from the Met Office, but we do have a high risk warning. Again, we saw that issued on Saturday, and it did come to fruition. We did see an amber warning issued in the afternoon by the Met Office, and I think we will see another amber warning issued. Again, I'm very surprised that they're not issuing it in advance. I know they are an official service, and of course if they do issue an amber warning, there are going to be precautions taken by many of their clients. But at the same time, from looking at the model data, I don't know what else the models have to output for an amber warning to be issued in advance. But convective outlook have a high warning zone and large areas of where severe thunderstorms is possible. Anywhere from the London area, once again, you can see most likely spawning in the London area, where we just got this little outlook of moderate zone heading northwards and westwards through the West Midlands into parts of Wales and northwest England. Again, the high zones where the most likely of severe thunderstorms will be, but anywhere in the moderate zone, including into parts of Scotland, we could see multi-cell systems develop with big thunderstorm risk once again. head over to Convective Weather website if you want to see more on their paragraphs they got here on the risk. Again, is much more detailed than I can go through in this video. And again, one thing that I am seeing pointing out here is, with strong surface heating lifting near surface temperatures to the high 20s, low 30s Celsius, and dew points of 17 to 19 degrees, insanely high dew points, showing you the amount of moisture we have in the air, leading to mixed level CAPE in the 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram, with the surface bay CAPE values likely to exceed 3,000 joules per kilogram, potentially yielding the most volatile environment of the year so far. So insane amounts of energy around, and again, we are likely to see some big thunderstorms. The only issue we have with this triggering, you can see here, slightly lower convective cloud bases and therefore requiring slightly lower near surface temperatures for initiation. That said, there are hints of a warm nose above the mixed layer at 850 HPA, which might act as somewhat of a cap, but a convective cloud could potentially reach 40,000 feet or minus 60 degrees Celsius. So again, a lot of detail here that I don't have time to go through in this video, but if you are very much interested in the detailed of the thunderstorm risk, what could prevent big thunderstorms, but what could also really balloon them up, do check out here. So if we do go over to net weather now, just have a look at the temperatures, because not only are we seeing thunderstorms, we're seeing very hot weather. And you see once again, as of 10:11 a.m, widely 25 to 28 degrees, again across many central, eastern and northern areas of England, so likely once again to see 30 degrees somewhere around that 2 or 3 p.m. point. Again, another very hot day for many. So we do now have a look at the raw model data, see what it's developing over the course of the next 5 days. You can see the area of rain through parts of Wales and southwest England, remnants of thunderstorms clearing away now. As we towards the afternoon, we can see thunderstorms starting to break out around that midday point. UKV has it further northwards and westwards than most of the other models, and the warnings do have it. Again, UKV hasn't performed particularly well the last couple of days. It's shown thunderstorms, but not shown the detail that I would expect, that the other models have got a lot more accurate. It's showing a lot of scattering of thunderstorms, but not the last 2 days where we have seen multi-celled systems develop, hasn't caught onto it at all, whereas the other runs have done to a certain extent. But again, showing a widespread heavy thunderstorm risk further northwards and westwards than I think will happen, but nevertheless it has got that risk developing before diminishing around 8-9 p.m. this evening. Do see some more showers through the morning, but again nothing too severe. Into tomorrow afternoon you can see that risk transfers to western Scotland and Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland, with many other areas much drier. Temperatures will be cooling as the upper temperatures do drop and more of an easterly flow moves in, but still very warm heatwave conditions like for many. Into Wednesday, it'll be another fantastic day for many regions. Again, a few isolated thunderstorms could develop through western Republic of Ireland and northwestern Scotland, but most areas are fine once again. And that continues into Thursday. A few scattered thunderstorms in places, but nothing substantial. And the same into Friday. Again, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the north and west. Don't look too severe here. Further eastwards, where we have had the biggest thunderstorm risk recently, are a lot drier. You see the upper air temperatures are still relatively warm, not quite as hot and warm as they are now, but still indicative of mid to high 20s. If you look at the mixed level CAPE, just want to have a look at it today, you can see insanely high levels there. It is difficult because of all the writing and the lines on here. It's almost too detailed really, but you can see the dark oranges showing 2,000 to 2,500 CAPE level joules per kilogram here developing for the mixed layer CAPE during central England. So insanely high levels. Again, the energy available. CAPE doesn't mean that necessarily there'll be insanely big thunderstorms, but just shows you the energy available once thunderstorms get going. If you look at the max temperatures, again today likely to reach the high 20s, if not 30 degrees. UKV has it here across northern England and the far east, simply because central and southwestern regions will be under the thick cloud and the big thunderstorms and heavy rain, so likely to hold those temperatures down towards the mid-20s. But as I must stress this, and I've said this over a number of last videos, temperatures will not play out like this if that thunderstorm risk moves around, which is likely because of convection. It's very uncertain where exactly it will pop off. So if you're here and it shows 25 degrees, it's still possible to get to 30 today, just dependent on what happens to the cloud and the thunderstorms. But regardless, another very hot and humid day, likely to see 30 degrees once again. Now into the 13th of June, I said this in the last couple of videos, very interesting fact, 13th of June is the only day in meteorological summer, so from the 1st of June until the 31st of August, that has never seen 30 degrees observed somewhere in the United Kingdom. Looking likely we break that this year. We break that record this year as we've got 3 p.m. here, widespread 28 to 30 degrees. Again, it will be touch and go how high above 30 degrees it gets, but from looking at this latest model data, looking quite likely we see 30 degrees here. So we're going to be breaking that record on the 13th of June. So technically, this heatwave will go down as a bit of a record-breaking heatwave because of this fact. As we move into the 14th, though, into Wednesday, temperatures will still be relatively hot, still 28 to 30 degrees, but widely a couple of degrees cooler. We're seeing it peak at 30, but not much higher. So started to cool down a bit. The upper air temperatures are much cooler, but it's because we've got very hot air trapped at the surface. We're still seeing these high temperatures. And into Thursday, slightly cooler once again, 25 to 28. So still hot, still hitting heatwave thresholds in quite a few regions, but just not quite as warm as it's recently been. And finally into Friday, another reasonably warm, if not hot day, 25 to 28. Not quite as insanely hot as it's been recently, but still very warm and pleasant. If you move over to the WRF run, and look at those insane levels of Cape as we run through this afternoon, look at that explode, those purple colours appearing, indicating Cape levels up to 2,500 to maybe as high as 3,000 joules per kilogram. Again, most unstable Cape here. Yeah, ridiculous levels. Never seen anything really this high for the UK. As I said, this is Cape levels that are more traditional to sort of America or Southern Europe, where we can see some insane thunderstorms. So yeah, we'll just have to see what unfolds this afternoon, but the energy is there for something quite ridiculous through this afternoon. As we head through the evening, the Cape levels do remain fairly high, so those thunderstorms could maintain themselves until around 11, 12 p.m. before they do degrade, 11 p.m. until midnight, and they do degrade away through the early hours of the morning. As we head into tomorrow, Cape levels are high again again across southern England, southwest England, but we're not expecting much initiation there, so not expecting thunderstorms there. But through northern and western Scotland and parts of Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, again could see thunderstorms there. And then through the rest of the week, Cape levels are much lower, apart from perhaps the Republic of Ireland, where we do see higher pressure building back in for most regions. If you look at the precipitation now, expecting to see some big thunderstorms this afternoon, and we see them take off through initially in the London area, spreading northwards and westwards into parts of the West Midlands and northwest England, with those dark oranges indicating torrential rain developing here through the afternoon. Even some reds appearing, which is some of the highest rainfall rates you can get in the UK. There from the WRF, before eventually it does degrade away. Around the midnight point, we start to see those thunderstorms properly fade away. Again, looking at the widespread nature of this, it's likely we again could see a multi-celled system develop into sort of a mesoscale convective system where it properly turns into a big storm system. Again, we will have to see what happens. Again, these things are very difficult to forecast in advance, but looking at its latest model data, it is looking like a very lively afternoon once again in those prone areas. We have seen a lot of rain falling here, so it just means that the risk of flash flooding once again is even slightly higher than it's been the last couple of days, because we have seen a couple of inches of rainfall fall in many of these regions. As I said, into the rest of the week, it does reduce. Again, thunderstorms across northern Scotland and the Republic of Ireland, as on the UKV, but again, not as high risk elsewhere. Quite big thunderstorms there perhaps on Wednesday in the west of Ireland, and quite slow moving, and again, we'll concentrate on that nearer the time. If you do go over to the Rome run now, let's see what risk we've got here. As we head through the Monday afternoon, Cape levels break out to around 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram once again, and we see those insane thunderstorms break out across the London area, eastern England, across the West Midlands, and explode into the West Midlands around 4 or 5 p.m. And again, looking at this data, you'd expect an amber warning issued here. We can see white here on the precipitation, again reaching the highest levels of precipitation rate, and just insane thunderstorms breaking out once again before slowly degrading away around that 7 or 8 p.m. point as they clear into the North Sea. Around 8-9 p.m. here, we see the intense rainfall start to reduce. So once again, looking like another very bad breakout this afternoon for severe thunderstorms. Again, surprised we're not seeing an amber warning issued, but again, the Met Office obviously have more access to more data, and they don't think it is warranted at this stage. And then as we head into Tuesday, again, could be scattered thunderstorm risk further westwards, but again, not seeing anything near as substantial as the last few days for most regions. If you do finish by just looking at the ensembles, again, looking hot over the course of the next couple of weeks, well above average, and of course we don't need insanely hot temperatures now because we have insanely hot upper air temperatures to get warm conditions, simply because we have got hot air trapped at the surface. One good advantage over the next week is it will be turning slightly cooler, as you saw from the UKV, down to sort of 25 to 28, but look at the precipitation, it goes to minimal over the next few days after the thunderstorm risk. Today, into the next couple of days, it goes to minimal precipitation risk for the next sort of week plus. So you have been a bit sick of the thunderstorms. If you're looking for something a bit drier and perhaps slightly cooler towards the mid-20s, it's looking great the next week or so as this very pleasant summery start to June does continue. Precipitation does pick up quite considerably around that 20th to 22nd of June point in around 10 days' time. And again, we'll have a look at that in a lot more detail in tomorrow's video once we've got this big thunderstorm risk out of the way, as it's turning hotter there, but precipitation increasing. Could see the return of more heavy rain and more thunderstorms. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you stay safe out there. We're going to see a very high risk of thunderstorms. Potentially the highest risk we'll see all year, potentially the highest risk we've seen in a number of years. Again, it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly because precipitation charts are all different. What actually happens in reality will be different from what exactly happened on the precipitation chart, but all the ingredients are here for a historic outbreak of thunderstorms this afternoon. Ridiculously high levels of Cape convective weather have a severe widespread warning and a high risk for many parts of England, stretching into Wales. Again, not been seen since Saturday, and prior to that hadn't been seen in a number of years. So yeah, big risk of severe thunderstorms today. Make sure you stay safe, and if you're not going to be impacted by the thunderstorms, make sure you stay safe out in the heat as well, as that heat continues to build. Houses and properties continue to skyrocket in their temperatures as well. So even though the outdoor temperatures are not climbing much higher today than they did yesterday or the day before, indoor temperatures will continue to rise as the heat just saturates bricks and just buildings in general. So do stay safe out there. Make sure you do stay hydrated and don't take any unnecessary risks in this weather, as it is going to be getting a lot better, probably for most from tomorrow as those temperatures drop and the thunderstorm risk does diminish for most regions. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Just do stay safe out there over the next 12 hours or so, and I'll see you again for another video soon.